We're joined back with our regular visitor, Sergeant Steph Martin, and Sergeant Steph Martin has brought along with him Detective Constable Al Beasley from the Island CID. So welcome along to the show.
Thanks very much.
Firstly, now that you have a CID on Sheppey, what sort of things are you dealing with?
Well, we're dealing with everything from serious assaults to burglaries, fraud and drugs. We're already reducing crime from last year's figures, and we're being proactive to prevent a lot of these offences from occurring now.
Yep.
One of the ways we're doing this is by working closely with our neighbourhood team and the local council in order to evict problem families, and we're doing everything in our power to stop criminals on the island. I dealt with island crime before the Island CID team was set up, and now realise how beneficial it is by working on the island and being able to keep our finger on the pulse and taking ownership of it. One of the things I would encourage is for people to contact us with information, particularly on drug dealing, as drugs bring crime to your area. And we feel that residents are in the best position to help us, whether in confidence or not. So if anyone's got any information, then they can give us a bell on 01795 584 112.
So Steph, what have the Island neighbourhood team been up to?
Hello Daniel. Well, the holiday season lays down has now meant many more visitors to the island, but there's been no change in calls or crimes. Sergeant Andy Bell leads a team out there specifically in place to prevent and deal with issues at the holiday parks. With the excellent work that's been done prior to the start of the season, that's meant the majority of the key staff know how to contact them if problems arise. We're aiming for a quick resolution to the issues to make the holiday season a pleasant place for all during this summer.
Yep.
The neighbourhood police, we were out with the motorcycle team looking at nuisance off-road motorbikes a few weekends ago. We've been out to areas that have known to be a problem to us in the past. We spoke to some children who were clearly interested in the police off-road bikes. It's difficult to say how many offences the police would prevent just by being in an area, but we received no calls of nuisance bikes on this day. Anyone caught using their bikes off-road to the annoyance of the public will receive a warning or have their bike seized. And also we are receiving a few complaints about nuisance scooter riders. The bikes will travel in groups and sound like a load of hairdryers going past at full volume. This is annoying to a lot of members of the public, and we're aware that some of the riders have their scooter powers, the powers of their scooter increased.
Yep.
This puts it into the category of a motorbike, and their driving licence may not cover them to use it. Again, we will seize the bikes if we catch them, and we're doing some operations with Kent County Council to specifically target this type of antisocial behaviour.
How do you know what the police should be dealing with?
Right, well, from a neighbourhood perspective, we're led by the public and will listen to what concerns they have before taking any action. The neighbourhood team on Sheppey each do a street a week, so this involves speaking to residents in a particular street, identifying what problems they have, and then telling the people what we've done after we've acted on them. Most people we speak to have no issues to report and are happy with how we're policing their area. We can quickly deploy into an area for speeding issues, let's say for instance speeding if that's a problem, but a lot of this seems to be perception, as we find no problems when we monitor the area initially without our fluorescent jackets.
We are joined with Sergeant Steph Martin and Detective Constable Al Beasley from the Island CID here at the Monday Night Community Show as part of our regular slot with the local police force. We're joined back with Sergeant Steph Martin here at the Monday Night Community Show this evening. Steph, you still seem to have speed checks on your agenda.
Yes, we do. I don't think it's realistic to say that no person will ever drive their car in excess of the speed limit again. We have the speed limits in place to reduce the risk of injury in an area. The specification of cars has improved over the years with better technology, and roads have improved. Unfortunately, there are still some individuals who make the choice to risk the lives of others by speeding. If they make that choice, then they run the risk of being caught by us. We want to keep the casualties down on Sheppey's roads, and will continue to conduct speed checks over the island. We have an email address and would encourage people to contact us to report areas that they think are a problem, and if you just email us on sheppey.speeders@kent.pnn.police.uk.
Have you got any events coming up?
Well, yes, you'll be able to find us at the Laysdown Carnival. We'll be on hand for you to report any issues or just have a chat. We'll also be at the Sheppey Carnival, and we still welcome any nurseries or schools contacting us. We'll come in and give a talk to the children on road safety, stranger danger, and generally what the police do.
We are joined with Sergeant Steph Martin here at the Monday Night Community Show. We're joined with Sergeant Steph Martin here at BRFM on the Monday Night Community Show as part of our regular monthly slot with the local police force. Steph, what initiatives do you have running?
I have 2 of my PCSOs on a bikeability course at the moment. This is a course that will enable them to go into schools and teach children on cycle safety on the roads. We're taking part in a national scheme called Helmet Watch, and that's to reward children who are seen wearing a cycle helmet when using their push bikes by giving them a small gift and a road safety pack. We're also giving out motorcycle helmet crash cards. This was a card designed by paramedics who are passionate about motorcycles, and if you're unfortunate enough to be involved in a crash, this will help the paramedics at the scene. PC Keith Johnson at Laysdown has a number of these to give out. We'll also have some at Sheerness front counter if anyone wants to pop in and pick one up. If you buy a cycle from one of the Sheerness cycle shops, they'll register it on a scheme called Cycle Safe. This is an initiative that was introduced by our town centre officers Bill Hardiman and Joe Russell, and we're working with the cycle shops. If a bike is ever stolen and found, this will help us to return it to its owner. We have another couple of initiatives which will reduce the outlets for stolen property, and I hope that these will be in place hopefully by the middle of August.
Steph, what useful contact details do you have for our listeners?
Okay, if you want to report crime in progress, obviously dial 999. To contact the Island Neighbourhood Team Office, dial 01795 584 165. If you want to report a non-emergency, call 01622 690 690. And you could alternatively look on the Kent Police website if you search it in a search engine on the internet, and on there you'll find that you can send your local officer an email.
Steph and LBs, I'd like to thank you very much for coming along for our monthly slot.
Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you.
That's Sergeant Steph Martin and Detective Constable Al Beasley from the Island CID here at the Monday Night Community Show.